Well, they want your guns, they want your free speech, and they even want your fertility. So today I'm going to be talking about the plot against humanity and how essentially, in many ways, I hate to say it, those of us out there expressing concerns for a very long time about the hormone disruptors, the endocrine disruptors that were being just, latent and thrown all around our environment, those of us have been vindicated. And so, yes, of course, I'm not going to leave out that Alex Jones and his turning the frogs gay turned out to be vindicated. But, there was always science behind that, okay? You had Berkeley professors like Tyrone B. Hayes talking about it, doing studies about it. You had these big agri companies trying to buy him off. But it seems now, finally, even the mainstream media aren't able to deny it anymore because they've allowed this problem to go on and perpetuate to the point of where we're at right now, where sperm counts in men in the US are 60% lower than they were in 1974. We're now at a point where you can't deny the science anymore. You can't deny the fact that we are having what ABC News is saying is a spermageddon. Okay? Sorry for the graphics here, the graphic imagery. But yeah, this is a problem. And so when you think about how today we see all of this talk of intersex and people having gender dysphoria, gender confusion, not really understanding or knowing who they are, having these weird hormone issues where, they're seeing an increase in young male children having genital mutations and deformities being born, to where that's why we see more of this conversation you see from progressives on the left, and they just say, oh, that's just normal, that's just intersex, it's always been this way. No, it hasn't. That's like trying to normalize that, it's always been that way when the frogs were literally growing ovaries, the male frogs were. It's not normal, it's a symptom of polluting the environment and polluting human bodies. So what is the solution from the left? The solution that they say is, oh, well, we've put endocrine disruptors in your kids' juice boxes. It's all over your plastics, in your hair care products, in your food, in your water, in everything. It's turning your sons gay. It's making your daughters, gay as well. But hey, it's causing cancer. It's causing massive health problems. The solution, just accept it. And that's who you are. And you should get a sex change. Okay. Before I get too much into that, which is probably going to get me thrown off some of these other social media platforms, even though, hey, ABC is citing it even, right? Like, I can't talk about it openly on places like YouTube, which I'm doing now, despite me knowing better, right? I should know better because they're going to ban me. But you know what? If they do, you guys know where to find me, millennialmillie.com, or you can find me live streaming on twitch.tv, which is where I do my daily show, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, so basically, ABC can talk about it. All these other news networks can now talk about it. If we talk about it, though, they're going to say it's because we hate people. They're going to say, oh, you hate it. It's some thing that you want to perpetuate to hate people who are not like you, right? People who are gay. And the fact of the matter is we need to be talking about chemical exposures to the environment. And before I get more into this topic, it's really sad that the left, they want to continue on about climate change all day and environmentalism all day, but they won't touch this subject, like they really don't want to touch it. You try to bring this up with them and they get very defensive. They write it off. No, there's no way. They don't want to accept that reality. But here's the scary thing. With these endocrine disruptors, they did studies on mice and rats, and they found that they dose and they give the pregnant mice the endocrine disruptors, BPA, phthalates, all that stuff. And what ended up happening was her offspring were affected hormonally. Their testosterone levels were affected. They were greatly decreased. And based on the dosing, some of the male mice were completely made to be infertile. Like, zilch, sorry, you're end of the line, buddy. You're not going to reproduce. You're not going to carry on your family name in, Mouseville or whatever. You're done, right? So what does that show? Humans are mammalian, right? So it's not just frogs who are amphibians. Mammals are also affected. In fact, all the animals in the animal kingdom are affected by the endocrine disruptors, to where we could be seeing a problem in the future. Scientists are even estimating, these are bold statements. They're saying that there's going to be a massive problem with fertility by the year 2045. That is very soon. Okay, we're 2021, 2045. That's in our lifetime. We're going to see that. We're going to see our children and our grandchildren having problems having children, to where they're going to be able to need to seek out. They're going to seek out fertility treatments and all of that. Okay, it's a scary thing we're dealing with. So I've been researching into it a lot, and it's something I already knew about, but these recent articles kind of came up again. And it's one of those things where, I used to be really good about avoiding drinking out of plastic bottles and using plasticware, and making sure I'm buying soaps and products that don't have these harmful chemicals in them. But I feel like I've gotten a little bit more lazy with it and lax with it over time. And just reading these articles again and reading some of the new scientific studies that came out, and how bad it affects your children and how it is permanent. You can do something right now to lessen the effects of your kids by switching over and making sure you're avoiding those type of chemicals in your food, all that stuff. But some of it's unavoidable. And that's a scary thing. If you're eating food that you're buying, very processed foods, it's going to be in the processed foods, because those plastics are used in the food manufacturing processes. So the food is traveling through tubes of plastic that are, putting those plastics inside, those endocrine disruptors inside your food supply if you're eating processed food. If you're even buying some foods from farms, because, in big agriculture, if it's not organic food, it's being sprayed with endocrine disruptors. So that's a scary thing. And, they even, one scientist even recently did a study where they were talking about some essential oils having some endocrine disruptors. There can be natural things in our environment as well that you might not want to put in your body. You might not want to eat a bunch of soy if you're a man. That might be bad. Also, if you're a woman, you might have too much estrogen. Estrogen dominance can cause a plethora of health problems in women as well. So they found in a scientific study that boys who were overly exposed to lavender essential oil and tea tree essential oils started to develop breast glands, breasts on their bodies. But one of the things they found is that when they discontinued the use of those essential oils, that the breasts went away on the young boys. But it's a scary thing here where we need to be careful, because you can't just blindly jump into the whole, just buy everything at Whole Foods with Jeff Bezos and his Amazon and his big company. But, that's not going to work either, because I remember I was buying a bunch of stuff from Whole Foods for a while, trying to be super cautious about it. But come to think of it, half the stuff at Whole Foods have lavender essential oils in it. So we need to start paying a little bit more attention to what we're exposing ourselves to. But there's bigger things to worry about than lavender essential oils. These chemical endocrine disruptors, the pesticides, those things are dangerous to the body, and very, very not good. Now, one of the things that we've seen recently arise on social media and Twitter is this SuperStraight little movement. It's really bizarre, and it has all of the hallmarkings of an IIA operation, intelligence operation, where you're basically seeing this same orange and black color coding that harkens to color revolution codes, where this is mutualism, mutual anarchy. So it's interesting that they're using the mutual anarchy colors while promoting this super straight movement, which is, they're saying, you know, this is Yahoo, and they're saying that it's meant to divide the LGBTQ people. But I don't know. I think it's meant to it's meant to radicalize in some ways the far right people, the right wing people. I don't think the orange and black movement that we're seeing coming out of the right wing movement is beneficial at all, because if you look into the people and the backgrounds of those who are perpetuating and pushing it, people like Ali Akbar, you soon begin to realize that these people are phony. They're faux conservatives. They're not real conservatives. It is odd that this is the same color, this yellow, this orange and black, that Ali Akbar uses, and many of those in that crowd, the supposed faux conservative crowd, they themselves are gay. So I don't understand why this is being pushed and perpetuated, but you know, I want to show, for those of you who don't know yet, some of the background in what I'm referencing when I'm talking about the color code, the color warfare, how this all coincides to what's been happening right now, what even happened on the 6th at the Capitol. There's this orange movement, okay, where in color revolution with anarchy, you see yellow and black being used to symbolize capitalism, capitalist anarchy, okay, that's yellow and black. Red and black, which is like what you see Antifa donning, is anarchy, socialism, communists, you know, communist, socialist, anarchy. And so what is mutualism? Mutual anarchy is when you see that yellow and that red come together in mutual anarchy. And so it is pretty interesting to see that this orange movement came awry. Obviously, you can watch it. If you've already watched Psyop the Steal, you can watch Psyop the Steal on my website, millennialmillie.com. But I'm going to show you guys a little excerpt from Psyop the Steal that talks about the Agent Orange provocateurs that were the main ones pushing through the barricades, shoving through, taking over the Capitol. And it talks about the tactics that were used in Ukraine Revolution. So let's, I'm going to go ahead and play a little clip of this video. Look at all of these guys. Notice the orange beanies. Or what about the orange tape? Clearly, they are using orange as an indication that they are on the orange team. Notice the orange team was instrumental in breaking through police barricades to get inside the Capitol. For quite a while, Ali has been pushing the color orange. Everything from saying 2020 was the year of orange, to selling orange shirts, to calling himself the Orange Prophet, to wearing orange in association with the Stop the Steal movement. He even wore all orange on January 5th at the pre-game rally, so to speak, for January 6th rally.
Give us what we want, or we are going to shut this country down.
I didn't say I was going to go Joker mode. I didn't say I became an accelerationist.
Even our whistleblowers were drawing attention to Ali and his associates on Twitter having an orange block next to their names in what appeared as a color revolution tactic hearkening to Ukraine's Orange Revolution.
Hundreds of thousands of pro-democracy Ukrainians in the streets today protested against the results of the presidential election.
The Orange Revolution in Ukraine resulted from a controversial presidential election where there was alleged massive election fraud and corruption. In this photo taken at the Capitol during the January 6th event, you can see Sergei Dubinin, a Ukrainian protester and agitator. What are Ukrainians that participated in an armed revolution in Ukraine doing inside the United States Capitol? You have to ask yourself, is it because the same people that were behind the Ukrainian Revolution are also behind the storming of the Capitol? Rewind 15 years, Manafort was brought onto Ukraine's political scene as the country was still dealing with the fallout from the 2004 Orange Revolution. All right. So I'm also going to show you another clip from my website, millennialmillie.com, from the full psyop distill video so that you guys can get more perspective into the orange color warfare and how it coincides with what we've been seeing today with many of these big political events like Charlottesville. Far left and far right groups working together, but this time storming the Capitol in a concerted effort.
Hello?
Hey, is this Jason?
Who's calling?
This is Millie Weaver. We ran into each other at the rally yesterday, the march.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Millie.
What happened at the Capitol building seemed somewhat similar to what happened at Charlottesville.
Yeah, it did. I saw some weird stuff there, and I do think that there may be something to the idea that the police let the people in, but I think that, I mean, they basically let them in to set them up.
We literally have Proud Boys, Black Lives Matter, Groypers, and Antifa working together creating mayhem at the Capitol. It was a who's who of social media influencers known for instigating trouble. Notice the Proud Boys, who are being criminally charged, organized on the other side of the Capitol, having nothing to do with the Save America March. Look at all of these guys, many of which are Proud Boys. Notice the orange beanies, or what about the orange tape? Clearly they are using orange as an indication that they are on the orange team. Notice the orange team was instrumental in breaking through police barricades to get inside the Capitol. For quite a while, Ali has been pushing the color orange. Everything from saying 2020 was the year of orange, to selling orange shirts, to calling himself the Orange Prophet, to wearing orange in association with the Stop the Steal movement. He even wore all orange on January 5th at the pre-game rally, so to speak, for January 6th rally.
Give us what we want, or we are going to shut this country down. If they arrest Enrique Tarrio, then no one's leaving D.C., are we? Our government should be afraid.
I didn't say I was going to go Joker mode. I didn't say I became an accelerationist.
It was Ali Akbar Alexander who also started the website wildprotest.com, where the same list of speakers James Sullivan handed over to the Women for America First organizers can be found. This website, which was all in Ali's name, has since conveniently been taken down, only available on archive.org. Notice it is the same location where the alleged Proud Boys with distinct orange markings also organized. This appears to be a setup, a honeypot trap, for those who showed up at this location, for those on the speaking list, and for those who donated significant money to this event so they could be blamed for storming the Capitol on January 6th. Ali never had a stage, nor held any of the speaking events. Ali also made sure not to be anywhere near this location when the orange team started busting through police barricades. notice that Ali Akbar had originally told people that he was going to be having a speaking event, and he essentially lured people like Alex Jones there and others so that their fan bases as well would go. They show up and there's no stage, no speaking event, no speaker system. And then next thing you know, people wearing orange markings are busting through barricades, breaking into the Capitol. And there are also Antifa in disguise wearing black bloc there as well, bashing open windows, using Kevlar helmets to smash their windows and crowbars, using language that's clear that they are not Trump supporters by saying, oh, Trumpy bear this and that, using Hong Kong style tactics. So it's clear that people were lured there. This was a setup to demonize conservatism, to demonize people that were on the right wing. Now, when we're talking about demonization, it is pretty interesting that after I covered this in my film Psyop the Steal, not too long after, we see this super straight movement arise, and the timing of it's pretty bizarre, I will say. The weird thing about this is, once again, those orange and black colors that are being pushed and promoted amongst people on the right wing side. The left is saying it, using it to say that this is anti-LGBTQ, it's hate speech, whatever. Probably going to make it so that many right-wing people who can be identified with this orange and black get banned off of social media. But we have to think about who's leading the right-wing people into jumping on the bandwagon with this type of stuff. One of the things I saw pretty concerning is there was a SuperStraight Twitter account that was created, and I mean, look at the followers. People are just jumping on the bandwagon here, and they're putting these like orange markings. These are like IAA looking accounts right here, man. They put the orange and black, orange and black, orange and black next to their names, which this is not something new. I'm telling you, this is exactly what Ali Akbar and his followers were doing, adopting those orange and black colors for mutual anarchy. You know, it's just concerning, to say the least. Very concerning. Even Gab tweeted about it, which was kind of sketchy. Gab AI tweeted about it, and I was like, what? Really? Well, that's not good. That's definitely not good. So, anyway, I'm going to be taking some callers in a little bit here, but I'm going to be primarily doing my callers on my Twitch stream. So I just wanted to share a little bit of today's broadcast with all of you guys on Periscope and Facebook and YouTube, on 1984 Big Brothers platforms. But if you guys want to participate in the live call-in show, I'm going to continue this broadcast on my Twitch stream, and you guys can watch that as well. I do my Twitch show from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. And we've already been doing it for over a week now, and it's been great. It's been really fun. People are enjoying it, and I love watching the people in the chats having a great time. And so you guys can actually watch it for free if you're watching it live. So as long as you're on Twitch at 2 p.m. through 3 and you sit there and watch it live, it's free. So if you're financially strapped because of this COVID lockdown and whatnot, I know a lot of people are unemployed right now, you can still watch it. You can still share it and help promote that and spread the word on true information. But there's also an option to subscribe. So some people have been subscribing, which is great. I really appreciate it. There's fun little like emojis that you can get. Like there's a rainbow snatch emoji, and you can use that in the chat if you're a subscriber. You can also rewatch, so you have like playback as well on Twitch if you're a subscriber, and you can make little clips and share those and whatnot. So I encourage you guys all to check me out on Twitch. They've been really good. I haven't had any problems with censorship as of yet, unlike YouTube and other platforms. But remember, you guys can always go watch the full film if you haven't watched it yet. Psyop the Steal. You can watch it on my website, millennialmillie.com. That is up there available for you all to watch and share with each other. There's a really nice article, and you can just go ahead and do that. We also have a a store on there if you guys would like to help support true journalism. You know, I'm doing things that are pretty controversial. I'm calling out the truth regardless of who it offends. Okay, I'm not worried about offending people on the right, and I'm not worried especially about, you know, offending people on the left. Okay, because at the end of the day, we need to get over all this offended, cancel culture nonsense, and we need to just be able to speak truthfully and freely, and that's really what I'm all about. So I prefer you guys watch me on Twitch because I feel more comfortable there and just speaking truthfully and freely and not having to watch what I say because YouTube and these other platforms have banned me so much. And if you're wondering why I'm just might be thinking, well, why are you even bothering to still be on YouTube or Periscope? Well, it's because there's a lot of people that follow me there that still haven't figured out or been made aware of where I'm going. And I want to be able to keep these platforms long enough to kind of guide people to find me in other places as well. And I have some projects coming out soon that I'm going to be announcing on these platforms, and I want to be able to get them out to as many people as possible. So I'm being strategic, okay? It's not for no reason. Trust me. All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate all of your support. Continue on with me if you would like to participate in the call-in show on twitch.tv. And I'm Millennial Millie on Twitch. So that's how you can find me, Millennial Millie on Twitch. So I'm going to be getting off here from YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope, continuing on Twitch. So bye, YouTube.